Hello guys and welcome to VollGazzRacing Season 13. Now 13 seasons and it is a debut season on MotoGP 24. Now you will have to give me just a few moments while I get used to the new HUD. This is my first time on Race Director mode this season on this game. And I do understand that there have been some changes from what I've seen, but Rupi is going to be the first rider out on the track on board what looks to be the Trackhouse Aprilia, from what I can tell by the colour. As he pops up, there he is, red, white and blue, stars and stripes, and he's just gone full USA with the colours of his helmet as well. I'm just checking what you can do. So you can validate long lap, so I can now invalidate people if I see them exceed track limits and the game doesn't do it for me. I can now invalidate the lap. I can give them one long lap, two long lap, and DQ them. There's no warnings anymore. Well, not in qualifying anyway. And on command I can now switch maps so I can see the riders' tyre temps, how the tyres are looking as well. So some vast improvements, I would say. Unfortunately, still I don't think I can access the split times. But anyway, so Ropey is first on track. Next is his teammate, the American Racing Aprilia. No, sorry, an American bike. It's Mr. Hitstick for the Trackhouse Aprilia. Mekavid, he is on the LCR Honda. The bike looks very different to how I usually see it. Then you got Skyleaf on the Repsol Honda, Q Gamer on the Gresini Ducati, Monster, who was returning for the first time since Season 3, 10 seasons ago, Minmon on the Red Bull KTM, so Red Bull Gas Tech Trois, RC16, Freddy on the Aprilia, Howling on the LCR Idemitsu Honda, and Rolge on the factory the only Yamaha on the grid. So Ropey starts the opening lap of MotoGP 24 in Division 2, hard on the brakes into turn 1 of Abbey, front end sliding a little bit. This game is quite a bit different to MotoGP 23 in a number of ways, with the throttle, the braking, just lots of things, the tyres as well. I mean, cool conditions you usually see the softer tyres anyway, but for some strange reason, 9 times out of 10 I do believe that for racing you do have to use the softer rubber. So that does make the race interesting, depending on which tyre gives up the most, if there's any tyre that gives up. So it makes preparations easier because you only have to focus on one tyre, not a different combination of tyres. But a clean lap-ish so far from Ropey as he's going through Woodcut Corner now to end the second sector. Heading towards Cop's third gear, maybe second, depending on his gearbox. Yeah, you should quick shift to second, then into third, but that might just be the game. And the bike's just sliding and twitching out the corner. And somebody has impeded, Howling Siege has impeded, and this is the problem because he's impeded apparently, but I'm assuming he's just fell off. So we'll need just to clarify that with the guys behind the scenes. So if he goes round Stowe, it's been a very clean lap so far. Into the Vale chicane. Around the final corner, up to the line, and it's a 1:57.3. Mr. Hitstick will be going a bit faster, so I've accidentally gone to Mekavid, and Hitstick 3/10 faster. Skyleaf's gone down. Skyleaf last season was terrible in qualifying. Usually couldn't get a lap done. Here comes Mekavid around the final corner on the Honda, on the LCR Honda, and he goes into third place. Q Gamer, the rider who almost was champion last season, but the last round just went horribly wrong for him. And his soft front's looking quite cold. But the good thing about the soft tyres now being the race tyre is the fact you can do I believe you can do multiple laps. It's not just one lap. Well, unless I think it depends on the track conditions as well and the type of track it is. But as you can see with Q's tyres, as the bike's squirming under braking into the chicane, those tyres have got enough temperature and wear to do another lap. So this also changes a couple of things as well. Q not a strong opening lap, but at least he's got banker in. Howling Siege, Season 4 Division 2 champion. Former runner-up in Season 9 of Division 1 on the Yamaha. So back down to Division 2 for Howling after extensive break in MotoGP 23. Just, I would say holding him back, but it's just compromised, I think, his flow. And he's struggled a little bit to get used to the new physics compared to others. But, you know, Howling, he's... oh, that's wide. No, we will have to restart the session, so the long lap penalties will disappear anyway. It's Howling into the final chicane. Nice back in, and the engine glitching out a little bit. That's probably just the game. As Mekovic crosses the line to go into pole position, 56.4. No, obviously we don't know what Howling's time would have been, but my guess is it would have been a decent lap. 10.4 on the front row. As rolled another Division 2 champion from Season 7 and 8. No, sorry, it's not 7 and 8. I want to say 9 and 10. Yeah, Seasons 9 and 10, sorry. And Rolch goes 6, so he must have made a mistake on the lap. And Q Gamer now, he rounds the Vale and moves into 5th. So Howling Siege again, strong opening sectors. Freddy, the Frenchman, on board the Aprilia. Across the national start-finish straight. Yet to set a lap time, but it's just trying to get used to the way the bikes look now and the different graphics. It's different from the perspective of broadcasting than riding. And Freddie using second gear mostly through there, compared to the others who've been using third, so he must prefer the higher revs. Or maybe his gearbox is quite much longer than the others, who knows. But Howling Siege, 3 red sectors. Freddie sliding it in. As we'll go to the helicopter cam for the final sector, just to make it a little bit different. Hard on the brakes. The club chicane. Nicely done. And the final corner, just be nice and smooth on the throttle. Don't be too eager. Don't screw it up. Nice. And across the line he goes into second. But Howling Siege is this pole position for the former champion, the former runner-up, the former third place man. He's finished in pretty much every position you can think of, and he's invalidated in the final sector. And remains in 9th. So Howling on paper looks to be quite strong on the Mitsubishi LCR Honda, but he just can't quite keep the bike in track limits. With Q Gamer on the Ducati, he was on the Honda every single season last time, from what I remember. He won in his special track seems to be Jerez. He won there twice. And Q Gamer's completely blown the chicane as Minbon goes past him to start his next lap. And we will go on board with him in the cup. No, he won't. He's got out of the way. I don't quite understand what he's doing. He must have validated. I think he must have validated the final sector. Let's see if the front wheel cam is... it's a bit better than last season. Last season you could not see a thing because of all the aero. And Howling's still going on this run. I would expect him to box, but the tyres must still be giving off some good amount of grip. But they're not red, so we don't know about fuel. And he's blown that corner again. The Rowling just needs to do a banker lap. He just can't quite get that Maggots and Beckett section on points yet. So as Mekovid is approaching the final sector and is going to swiftly box and just about makes it into the box there. As I've said, box way too many times during that stage. Ropey, now a rider who has shown some pace, but his luck has been completely south, to put it that's putting it lightly. He could have challenged Aaron Jacko in season 11 as he lags. He could have battled Aaron Jacko for the title in season 11, season 12. He could have got numerous podiums, but he was in title contention for a little while, and then it just all went away due to just bad luck and him leaving the sessions. But Ropey, 3 red sectors. Ride-out device activated. The ride-out device does seem to be better than previous games. I still don't fully understand if it's better or worse than not using it, but it's definitely a good aid. It's better aid than before. Into the chicane, nice and calm. Kissing the white line. Kissing that white line. Nice and tidy. Is this going to be pole position for the Brit on the Trackhouse Aprilia? Up to the line, and it is by just under 0.2 of a second. Ropey claims pole position, and he loses the front immediately into turn 1. Hopefully there's nobody on track approaching the final sector so he can be impeding anybody. And as I've said, Howling Siege, he's boxed, and he's back out on track. Minmon on the Tech 12 Red Bull Gas. He's got Q Gamer for company as well. Hopefully Q isn't disturbing him. Oh, and that's a bit wide for Minmon. He's just slammed on the brakes as well. That could have been a bit scary. We're more invalidating the lap because he's ruined his lap anyway. But I think he should have just rolled it. He just should have rolled off the track, not slammed on the brakes. They're a little bit dangerous, but all's okay. So Q Gamer, how's he? Let's see how he's getting on as he exits Chapel up to the back straight of the hangar straight. Through Stowe, and this will be his penultimate lap and he's completely messed that up, and he might have screwed up his chance. He screwed up his chances of getting another lap in. So Q Gamer at best is going to start from the second row in 6th position. Howling Siege, P9. He has got 2 laps, red sector 1. Howling has not been able to put a lap together so far. He just keeps running wide and invalidating himself. Rolge, probably the same thing. On the Yamaha, he did like the Aprilia in the last game, as I think most people did. But it was a big change for this season. In fact, the balance performance is now on. It's always been off to represent the difference in bikes to make it a bit more important. But now we've gone to balance. As Rolls crosses the line and only goes 6th. Howling Siege. He's got through Maggots, Beckett's. Just Chapel to go. Bike wheeling all over the place. In the helmet cam. Heading towards Stowe, hard on the brakes. He'll be getting it as sideways as possible as Howling likes to. He's going to make a V out the corner. Heading towards the chicane. He's going over the crest. Bike sliding. Rear goes really, really light. He's run a little bit hot. He's made it through nicely. He's not invalidated. He's just got one more corner. He's just going to roll the throttle nice and calm. Full gas now up to the line. And Howling Siege on this final attempt. Last gasp effort. Takes pole position from Ropey. And he's got another lap as well. Nothing like leaving it right to the very end. Mekavid will be the next to cross the line. And I believe that's a testing livery LCR Honda. So Sky Deef is the only rider yet to set a lap. And he's sort of like Howling, he's left himself very late. Mekavid up to the line. And he takes pole from Howling right at the end. They're doing a really good last sector. Howling made a mistake in this final chicane, and that's probably what's cost him. As Mr. Histic now is also an improved lap time, and I think he might have just screwed that up. He has. And Sky Deef has gone down at the chicane, and he will be starting from 9th. He will not be starting last, though, because of Monster. It does not look like Howling's going to be setting pole position as of yet, but we do know that he messed up the chicane. So if he can just get through Magnus and Beckett's cleanly. Let's see. That looks hot. That was hot. So, 2 Hondas in first 2 places. Mekavid takes pole, Howling Siege second, Ropey third, Freddy 4th, Hitstick 5th, Minmon 6th, Rolled 7th, Q-Gamer 8th, Skydeef 9th, and Monster will round at the top 10. So we will quickly restart the session. Hopefully it's the same as before. And the fact I can just quit the session straight away.
The riders have been greeted by a fantastic atmosphere.
If not, I'll have to just remake this session, lobby all over again.
Ready for some British Grand Prix action.
Hello Panda Kings, hello Ty Socks. Right, so just trying to remember the grid. So Mekavid is on pole ahead of Howling Siege. Then it is Ropey, that's Road. Then Freddy. Then Hitstick. Then Minmon. Then Rolge. Q-Gamer. Let me just wait for Skydeef to rejoin. Then we can get going. Right, we are ready to go for the opening round of MotoGP 24 in season 13. What can Monster do on his return 10 seasons later? Just waiting for everybody to ready up. Quite a few people not ready up yet. Just rolled Ropey and Mecca now to ready up. Everybody's readied up, so we can now get going.
The riders have been greeted by a fantastic atmosphere here at
So,
Silverstone. They're all lined up for the
Mecca
start
starts from his first pole position, I believe.
Grand Prix action.
Howling's been at the front before. Let's see if he can do it again. So the lights are on, and Division 2 Season 13 is now away. And it looks like it's a good start for Ropey and Freddie as they head towards Turn 1 for the first time. And it's going to be Ropey who leads the... No, was it Freddie? There's been a crash. Q-Gamer and Ropey that are coming together. As they head towards Turn 3 for the first time, there's all these track limits and stuff going on. But it seems... and who's that? Q-Gamer's gone down, and there's quite a bit of carnage going on there. But Minmod and Q-Gamer have both gone down. But as the drama has now calmed down just that tiny little bit, it is Freddie who leads ahead of Howling Siege and Ropey. Skydeep and Rolge fighting for fourth. With Mekavir being the biggest loser down in 8th. Poor start. Oh, and Ropey forces his way underneath Howling at Brooklands there. Or was it Luffield? I can't remember which one's which. There's the right old battle going on for... still getting used to this thing. For 4th and 5th position. We'll just try and stick. Monster is 7th on his return. As Freddie has got track limits. Please excuse me while I'm trying to figure this out. But Freddie out in front. He formed a very late attack in Division 2 last season. He just stayed consistent, picked up points every round, snuck a win here and there. That wasn't the outright fastest most of the time, as Howling has invented a new line for Stowe. And Ropey, big stoppy into the chicane, but he's got his stop compared to Freddie actually, and Ropey takes the lead of the race for the first time since the opening 2 corners. So let's see what he can do from this position. As the field is quite spread out just a tiny bit, but apart from these two. So the stewards are going crazy with incidents, warnings, track limits, you know. Oh, and Freddie just has been a bit cautious, maybe. Doesn't seem to be the most comfortable. And here comes Howling Siege up the inside at Aintree, and he is through. So Howling back into second place. And Freddie's going to send it up the inside at Brooklands, and then into left field. Howland's going to try and hold it round the outside, but Aprilia's just got the inside line. But Howland's going to turn it underneath and try and do what Ropey did to him last time round, and he does so. And Howling moves into second place, and now that little bit of spin that Freddie got from the collision means that he cannot immediately fight back against the LCR Domitsu rider. And now Freddie's been hounded by Sky Adif, who doesn't need a second invitation for any kind of manoeuvre. Round the outside, no, we're round the outside into Magus and Beckett's. As Adif's just trying to find a way through on the factory Aprilia. He's just got a tiny bit too hot there through the right-hander, so for Chapley hasn't quite got the exit. As Mekovid is bit of a track limits warning, so is Q Gamer. Sky Adif in the slipstream, pulls out to the right, hard onto the brakes, but no move can be made. As everybody's got apparently one warning apart from Q Gamer, who's got 2. And Howling Siege closed in a lot in the chicane there, but I think that's just him. That's just his line. Mekovic getting track limits. Howling Siege, fastest lap of the race. Has closed the gap from 1.3 to 7 tenths in 2 sectors. Howling hasn't taken a victory since season 9 on MotoGP 22 on a Yamaha. So, been a long time for a victory. As I'm trying to find Mekovid, as he's apparently in a battle with somebody's monster's gone down, as well as Minmon. And it looks like the two of them have collided together. I don't quite know, obviously don't know who's at fault for either the crash, but hopefully the AI can figure out. And it is deemed Minmon the causer of the crash, and has picked himself up a long lap penalty. Freddie exceeding track limits, so Freddie's just been able to shake off Hadif as Mekovid. Oh, and Hadif's gone down. That's a very strange crash at Cops. Lost the rear. It seems like he just lost the rear, or he lost the front late on. And Howling Siege track limits. His first warning of the session, apparently. But Mekovid's got to be careful. He might be like one of the fastest on track, but he's got quite a few warnings under his belt already. And it definitely seems like Howling's very strong in the second half of this track. Maybe Ropey's got 1/10 over the LCR Honda in the first set. As Freddie's gone down, he's lost it at Stowe. He's done the Bezecchi, it looks like. And now promotes Mekovid into 3rd place. Rolls track limits warning as well, but Rolls hasn't been the strongest, but the former 2-time Division 2 champion is now into 4th place, so 2 of the previous 3 champions, well, actually, 2 of the previous 2 champions are in 2nd and 4th, the other one's not even here. But I'm just wondering with this game, I wonder how much having to use the softer tyres, especially the soft front, is affecting Howling, because he is a very hard front kind of rider. Does like the stability of the front end, and let the rear just slide. So that could be the reason why he's not got as much pace as he used to, because the previous games you could just use the hard front whenever not whenever you wanted, but most of the time, if the conditions were hot and the track suited it. But Howling, he is all over the back, not all over the back, but he's closing in slowly but surely on Ropey in front. two satellite teams as well. As Minmon's gone down again. He looks like he's gone down at Luffield. There are warnings left, right and centre. Oh dear, under investigation, Minmon and Monster. It looks like it's been another collision between the two, and given that Minmon's gone down, Monster, it's most likely Minmon's been given a warning. And here comes Howling. Howling's now in the slipstream. He's right on the back of Ropey. He's really strong at the exit of Magnus Beckett's and Chapel. And look, he's closing in. He's looking up the inside. He sits him up, and Howling Siege moves into the lead of the race for the first time. But we know that he likes to outbrake himself into the chicane, and Ropey's going to get the inside line. And the Trackhouse Aprilia retakes the lead. So it's the Dutch versus the Brit. So lap 5, at the end of this lap we will reach the halfway stage. Ropey versus Howling Siege. Ropey yet to take victory in any division. Howling has been starved of victory for 3 seasons. He's on his love of a Honda. Not that it makes a difference really anymore because it's balanced performance. But so far it's between these two. But with this battling, just keep an eye on the gap between these two and Mecca, because Mecca was the strongest in qualifying. He was the fastest, but these 3 were on the front row. So it makes sense that these are the 3 in the race. But we've got to just keep an eye on that gap between Ropey, Howling and Mecca, because if these two start battling, Mecca will be the one to profit the most probably. As they go round Woodcut, it seems like Ropey is the strongest in the second sector, but this is the sector now where Howling can just gain chunks of time. So I will not be surprised if Howling finds something. Once again, here we go from Max Beckett's, and look at that! He's just shrunk the gap. He's taking a really inside line. That's caused him to take track limits warning, because he was had to go that tight to avoid Ropey. And he hasn't got the greatest of exits out to Chapel, onto the curb, and Ropey's able to just romp away on the straight. But Howling, who was struggling a lot for Magazine Beckett's during qualifying, I don't know what he's obviously he's analysed himself what he's been doing wrong, and has quickly fixed it for the race. Oh, and he's hot into the chicane compared to Ropey. Halfway stage is now completely off 50% through the race, and nothing can really separate between these two. Howling Siege still has the fastest lap of the race. We'll see if that can be beaten. I don't think so, just because the tyres have such an immense amount of grip at the start. Even though the bikes are extremely heavy with fuel, I just think the tyres can't hold on enough to set fastest laps at this stage of the race. But I might be wrong. We've just seen a difference in lines, a difference in riding styles between the two, and which one makes up time as Monster's gone down again. So Monster's return is really falling flat so far. Last time he was at Silverstone, I believe, was in wet conditions at season 3, and I can't remember for the life of me what happened in that season, but I don't think he romped away. I don't think he might have took a victory, actually. I know it's between him and Nelson and Deck. As Q Gamer's also gone down, so Q Gamer's having a start of the season that he had last season. And they're having a big rear lock into Coppers. I don't quite know how that's happened. Big mistake there by Howling Siege, and that has given Ropey a 1.7 second gap. So Howling, what are you made of? Can you? Well, he's already closed in 3 tenths in this section alone, but Howling, what can you do? Can you maintain? Can you control the pressure? Can you contain your nerves? 1.7 seconds now between him and Ropey, and Mekovic looking up the inside. Howling's kicked the grass as well. He's going to have to run on. So just big mistakes here by Howling Siege, and now he's forced to relegate down to 3rd place. He's gone from leading momentarily to being second, but this is not looking good. He's got another track limits warning, and he's making contact with his quote-unquote teammate. So Ropey, He's just going to stay consistent, try and not make any mistakes. As Howling sends up the inside at turn 1 of Mekovid, and he's through into back into second place. And he's now got the inside line for Vale, as he's for the 2 hairpins. And Howling is securely in second place through the village and the loop. The MotoGP AI stewards are having an absolute field day so far with track limits warnings, collisions, and all sorts. Thankfully, and Minron has got another long lap penalty, this time for track limits. But 1.9 seconds now, the gap between Howling and Ropey. If Howling does finish on the podium and we go to Parc Ferme, it would be great to hear what happened at Coppice, and that could ultimately be the reason why Howling is not the victor here today. But the gap has extended over by 2 tenths. So Ropey's just staying calm. You can see the tyres. And Ropey's actually spent a bit more of his tyre, but it's not that much of a difference. But Ropey's nice, and you can see why Howling is able to gain so much time. Howling is full commitment. Ropey, I think, is just trying to make sure he doesn't exceed track limits, but he loses 3 tenths there every time, but he's able to make it back up in other areas. So far, Ropey's strategy is going well. He will just be praying that these next 3 laps go smoothly. Surely nothing can stop him. But Howling has gained. Howling is going full attack mode. He's now 1.2 seconds behind. This could be Rolge has set a new fastest lap of the race, so Rolge finding something in race pace. I didn't think people would be able to set new fastest laps, but they are. Oh, but Howling makes a big mistake into the chicane there. And he's just lost a couple of tenths. So half a second gained in 1 lap. That's not going to be enough. It might just be enough depending on what point Howling catches him. But if it stays at that rate every lap, Howling Siege will close in on Ropey, and he's taking Mekovid and Rolge with him. Rolge losing 7 tenths. Actually, Mekovid losing 7 tenths that previous lap, and could be under pressure from Rolge very soon. But 4 track limit warnings for Mekovid and Rolge, so the 2 of them have got to be really careful. But Rolge is closing in. Mekovid's picked up a long lap penalty, so that will give Rolge 3rd place in the race. But here comes Rolge on the Yamaha in the slipstream of the Honda as they head towards Brooklands and Luffield. The American has got the tyre line. Mekovid's ran wide, but now Mekovid's got the inside line, and Rolge is forced to set the bike up. But Rolge turns it underneath the Honda. We've seen this quite a few times through that corner, and Rolge moves into 3rd place. As they go around Woodcut, now into Copse. And there's been a crash for Q Gamer, but Rolge is not safely, but he is in 3rd place. He's managed to hold it. Let's see Howling go back through this section again. Does he gain 3 tenths like he does every single lap? Yeah, he's gained more. He's gained 4 tenths. He's just, well, actually no, he's not. He's only gained 2, but he's on a roll so far. But it's not enough. He's got to gain more, but he gained chunks out of Ropey as well in this next corner. Mekovid's looking up the inside now of Rolge, heading towards Stowe. He's got the 2 of them side by side onto the brakes. Rolge is a little bit stronger, but Mekovid's got the inside line. Rolge gives him the room, but the Yamaha M1 holds off the LCR Honda. And the gap between Howling and Ropey is now 7.5 tenths. This race is not over. This will come down to the last lap if it stays like this. And Howling Siege, fastest lap of the race on lap 8. He is full attack, full commitment. He wants this win more than anything. He is hungry for that Dutch national anthem. He wants to stop Ropey winning his home Grand Prix. Just this first half of the lap, Ropey's just got that tiny bit more than Howling. But as soon as you get to the second half, I think it just suits Howling is just so precise, so aggressive. He's able to make so much time, but then in the final sector, Ropey does have him. But look at that, Howling's now 3 tenths behind Ropey now. Where's the attack? Surely Howling is going to attack. Or is he going to wait for the final lap? This has got all sorts of questions written over it, but Ropey making some form of error. And now Howling is it's back to where they were just a few laps ago. But Howling's ran a bit hot into Copse. Copse. Getting mistaken for Donington. into Magnussen Beckett's. Owen Howling's picked up a track limits warning, so he's only got one more warning, so that is going to hold off somewhat the attack, but he is with Ropey, more crucially. But that might just cause Howling to be a little bit more careful into that second. And Ropey gets onto the grass as they go down the hanger straight. Ropey's going to get, the two go side by side. Howling is going to take the lead of the race onto the into Stowe for the penultimate time. Out of Stowe into the chicane. We know Howling's really, really deep into here. But he's maintained it. He's just about maintained it. But Ropey's going to have the inside line for the final corner. He's going to try and force his way underneath the Idemitsu Honda. And he does, and he takes it as they start the final lap of the race. Howling's very inside line for turn 1. Not able to make a move through farm. And now into the two hairpins. As they exit the loop, heading towards Aintree, down the and then onto the Wellington Straight. Both of these riders, their hearts will be pounding, their hands will be shaking, their hands will be swaying, everything. Maximum pressure between these two. Who's going to win the opening race of MotoGP 24 in Division 2 in Season 13? Unlucky for some. At the moment, not for these two. And it's going to come down to the final corner, surely. Round Woodcote as they head towards Cops. Owen Howling's just a bit hot. He's missed the apex completely. Trying to make the bike not spin, trying to get all the drive from the rear tyre. The tyres are just going, but Howling's got to be careful. He does not want to pick a long lap penalty. Oh, he's just completely knocked off Ropey. He's completely wiped him out. And this now gives Rolge the lead of the race. Oh, now it's gone down as well. Oh my word. Ropey's luck is actually incredible. Howling just misanticipating it completely. Rolge into Stowe. As he's just got 3 more corners to negotiate. Onto the brakes. Into the chicane for the final time. He has not shown a wheel for first place at any stage. He rounds the final corner. Your season 8 and 9 champion will win the first race of MotoGP 24. Unbelievable. Mekovic crossed the line second, but Ropey will take second, who crossed the line in third. Mekovic will finish third. Freddie will be... I don't know. Hadith will be fourth. Freddie will be fifth. Howling Siege was sixth. But Howling will not believe what he just did. Big mistake there from the former champion. Ropey will not be a happy man. He still finished second somehow, but the win was there, and it just got cruelly taken away from him. And for some reason, Mekovic hasn't been given a long lap, so we'll have to review that. I'm pretty sure he got a long lap. So, Rolge is first, Ropey is second, Mekovic's third, Skydiff is fourth, Freddie's fifth, Howling sixth, Pitstick seventh, Minmon eighth, Q-Gamer ninth, and Monster rounds out the field in 10th. Unbelievable. Rolge actually had a really strong race pace. You know, he did set the fastest lap midway through the race, but I said season 13 is unlucky for some, very lucky for others, and Rolge profited so much from all the chaos that happened in front of him. As we'll now go to the Park Ferme interviews. Let's see who's in here. So we'll go, while we're waiting, we'll go with Rolge. See if, and then if nobody else joins, we can talk to Howling. So, Rolge, it's not been the start of the season that you had in previous terms in Division 2, but you've somehow brought home a victory here. How does it feel?
Feels amazing to be back on the top step. Yeah, I definitely didn't see this race going for a win. I knew my pace in qualifying wasn't the best, but I've always known that my race pace, once I get into a rhythm, is strong. Definitely up there with the top guys. But yeah, I just tried to run my own race. Mika had awesome pace, so I just focused on doing perfect laps to catch up to him. And I had no thoughts that I was going to catch Ropey or Howland. Their pace is on another level. I just could not make up any ground. But further up ahead, I just saw them go down, and I just thought to myself, hey, Christmas came early, so I took advantage. And yeah, I mean, it's good to be back with Yamaha in my first championship on this bike. And yeah, man, it was amazing, and I'm just speechless, to be honest. I did not expect this, but it was good.
Yeah, so congratulations. The last time in Division 2 you were the champion, and you still remain and you are again the championship leader, so well done.
Thank you.
And we will go to the man that unfortunately caused all kinds of chaos on the last lap. But first, Howling, we'll just go with what happened at Cops at midpoint of the race.
Yeah, first of all, I want to say sorry to Ropey. Like, I deserved any penalty because we had a good battle going on. And what happened was, I knew that I was going faster going into Maggots and Beckett's. That's where I won my time. And I just wanted to like slingshot it to go around the outside, heading to the second part, to Beckett's. But like heading toward that apex point, I saw myself closing in, and I was like, yeah, I'm trying to race up, and it was already too late when I really realized that I was going too fast towards Ropey, and then I taunted him off basically, and yeah, I basically robbed his first win because maybe I could have tried and overtaken the final sector, but looking from how strong Ropey was in the battle, I think Ropey might have had that. So I really feel gutted for him, you know, it was stupid. That's why I just like tried to finish last, because I didn't deserve to be in a podium after that one.
Yeah, can you just explain what happened at Cops? Like when you had that massive like rear end locking?
Oh yeah, so basically what happened there, it was with the engine brake, because I was shifting a bit too fast and I accidentally shifted in first gear somehow. And then I had to shift up, and all kinds of crazy movements happened, so that was not good as well. But other than that, I'm happy with my pace. The bike felt good, but yeah, still some silly mistakes that really, and the big one at the end, of course, that made me eventually lose the race.
Yeah, well, unlucky, but at least you've shown that you can fight for the win again.
Thank you, man.
So hopefully for future races that you can bring home the gold trophy.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
So that's it for the opening round of Division 2. We're back with Division 1 later, and we'll see you guys later. Goodbye.